Hi and welcome. This is Angela, and welcome to the new energy body. This is the first video for the channel, and I'm explaining today what is the goal for the channel or intent. It's of a global pandemic caused by a virus, and some countries are not as affected as others, but so many countries are affected. So today, if you're watching this or if you're watching this in future, you can think back to that time. So one of the goals of this channel is to bring you exercises once a month on the last Monday for you to experience your body so you can actually help the shift. And it's not actually for everyone else, it's more for you. But the importance of having this time during shutdowns where you can connect to your body, you can go inside and feel things more without all the noise from the outside world or the busyness of the outside world, is a really good opportunity. And if you are struggling, my goal is also for this channel to give you something to help alleviate stress and to allow your body to digest things by connecting to itself. So I'm going to talk about today in this introductory video about what is the new energy body and what is the work that I share. Because when I use that word work, it sounds really icky, but it's also about really sharing how the new energy body is a doorway to experiencing freedom, joy, and all of the things that we really want to experience when we're in this body, but we don't seem to get to because we're too busy trying to distract ourselves with addiction or anything else, or panic, or having to be something that we don't necessarily want to be, but we think we should be. And the new energy bodies, the intent is really to share the learnings that I've had through discovering myself through dance, healing, listening, having a really good time with my body. So first off, I wanted to share one of the things that happened to me through the past 20, 30 odd years, that I was always dancing, but when I was dancing, strange things would happen. I would start moving and listening to my body, and I'd sort of go into this space, this zone, and the zone wasn't always the same space. So if you do dance regularly, you might know this. And I'm talking about sort of more in individual dancing, not so much couple dancing, but I have also experienced in salsa some really interesting things in dance. So I would be experiencing the dance, and then I discovered something else was going on besides dance. So it's a weird sort of feeling that some of you might be experiencing now if you're in the shutdown mode, where you're having an experience like you're waiting at the shops to buy stuff, and there might be sort of panic or people are being weird, and then you're just watching the situation. So I had that a lot in the dance, and beyond that, beyond watching the situation as I danced, I started to actually experience a different sense of reality. Some of you might call it the matrix, some of you might call it just it'd be like having a dream while you're awake, conscious dreaming. Some of you might experience it through meditation already, where you're actually meditating while you're walking somewhere, or you start to go into a state while you're driving somewhere. It's not very good when you're driving, I have to say, though. So I do recommend being grounded when you go into a car, and I've found driving in more recent years, I've had to really focus on telling my body to ground, and that's one of the tools that I share and teach a lot. How do you, when you go into a vehicle, or if you're using machinery, computers, instruments, how do you relate to the machinery and the tool and anchor your energy? Because tools are not meant to be played with. Otherwise, you could get into situations that you didn't mean to be. But the body itself is a tool that we've been given. We've been born with this body. And that's why I became obsessed with what was going on in my body through the dance. Through the dance, I kept on experiencing all these different states, awarenesses. Some of them were about myself, others were not. Others are literally awarenesses about the nature of reality. And so my intent with this channel is to start sharing some of those stepping stones to how I discovered different states of reality, different experiences in my body, and how they can lead you to joy. Because what's the purpose of, awakening, consciousness, being here on the planet? Look, we really want to have a good time. And most of us now, because of being forced to slow down, are struggling with that in some way. Like, can I have a good time? I'm going to be isolated. Or you might have questions about your life and finances and worry, which are real. But I invite you to look at what are they really getting you to look at. I've had some serious life-threatening issues last year, which I'll address today, about the new energy body and why I had that life-threatening illness. But it really woke me up in a way that perhaps nothing else could. I'm not recommending it, not even to myself. I don't want to do that again. However, I'm not sure if I would have quite been so awakened to what new energy is available in my body now if I didn't have the surgery that I did. So let's look at the new energy body and the shift. What is this shift about? People have been talking about the shift, all right? So the shift is about shifting from one age to another. It's not just the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, but let's just use those two ages because it's simple. If you've done any spiritual work, you might know that it takes a while for that shift to happen. For some people, they think it's in a second, or Eckhart Tolle talks about that moment of awakening for him. And that's brilliant. It doesn't happen like that for everyone. And it certainly doesn't happen for the planet like that. For the planet, or for humanity, it takes about 300 years. Keep in mind that the planet Earth itself is going through shift all the time and has other cycles of shift. So if you look at the eclipses, they are a process of shift all the time. The planet's always going through a cycle. I've got a butterfly on the wall there. The butterfly is a symbol of shift all the time, and they go through cycles all the time. And as a butterfly, it's a very short period of life, but they're constantly evolving and regenerating as a species. So shift is inherent to our species. The shift that we're going to talk about with the new energy body channel is really about shifting from the Piscean energy, which is about sacrifice, to the Aquarian energy, which is about many things. And I haven't got one word for it right now because I'm still discovering as I go what it really is about. In general, you could say liberation, but it's so much more. I think because I know the Piscean energy so well, sacrifice is the one word that just comes. The Aquarian energy is really about coming together as community as well. And that's the other reason I'm using YouTube as a channel to share what I've been doing individually for about 30 years and to share it publicly as well. So what does that mean physically then? Like on our bodies, if we're going through this shift from these old age to the new age, old era to the new era, literally our bodies still have some old energy in them. Some of you may have body parts that need to be upgrading, and in particular your organs. And in the link for this, in the description for the video, I've got a link from John the Beloved, who's channeled through Helen Barton. So he has a really great little clip there about how the organs themselves need upgrading. And if you don't upgrade some of the energy in the organs, you could actually not be able to upgrade your chakras. So the energy body is made of the chakras in the physical body, and also they have a connection to the energy body in the aura. So if in your physical body, your chakras or your organs are holding old energy, it's not going to be able to liberate those chakras, or you may liberate some of the chakras, but not all of the chakras. And then John shares about that in the video. So in my case, last year, I had a full hysterectomy. I had an aggressive ovarian and endometrial cancer, uterine cancer. And the ovaries had grown so big, 13 centimeters and 15 centimeters, that they were pressing on everything and they were going to kill me. They were creating blood clots in my lungs and a whole bunch of liquid in my right lung. So I was suffocating. And if any of you are experiencing virus type symptoms, you will perhaps experience that. It's quite life threatening. And I was supposed to die, but I didn't. So the doctor, in the last minute, because he was too scared to operate because of the blood clots, he went ahead and did the hysterectomy anyway, because I was supposed to die, in his point of view, and a few other doctors. And I knew I wasn't. However, they didn't. So what I've realized from having that energy cut out, the ovaries were carrying an old energy. If you believe in past lives, it could be past lives. Doesn't really matter. It was just old. And in the new energy body, what we're going to look at are when things are old, how do you dance with them? How do you liberate them? How do you bring new energy to them to release the old energy? Because basically, it doesn't matter what happened in your past lives. This is your body now. How do we actually, without having to have surgery, extract the old? And I really don't recommend it. I mean, maybe it's easier to cut out a few things in your body. Certainly was easier for me because it was such an old energy and it was such a sacrificial energy in the ovaries and the uterus as well. More the ovaries, though. They were really pressing on my everything. And they had literally twisted my bowel. So I'd got myself in a knot, right? And without the help of modern surgery, I wouldn't have survived. So the other thing to understand, this channel is very much an advocate of modern medicines and scientific-based empirical medicine in combination with alternative and energy medicine and dance. Because I'm not an energy medicine person, I'm an energy healer, and I use movement, feeling, and listening and play to enliven your ability to use your own healing skills. Every person I work with or dance with has their own ability to heal themselves. I'm not teaching you how to be a copy of me. I'm sharing with you how I've learned how to play with my body and discovered healing in that process, which has been incredible. Literally yesterday I had some sciatica and it's gone today. So that's how quick this stuff can move. It doesn't have to stay in your body with the new energy. So what I'm sharing with the new energy body will show you without surgery how to enliven your body to shift old energies. Now, if you have serious illness, you can use some of the teachings I share and some of the playing I share to go through that serious process. If you have illness, you can use what I share to help you through illness. I did that when I was in hospital. And it definitely worked, and it was very simple. It's not complicated what I share, and it's always there is a process and a protocol like traditional and scientific-based medicine with healing and true shift of energy. You do need certain protocols. So I will share some of that as well in the monthly videos, but a lot of play is involved. And some of what I'm sharing on the videos, because I do them live, will be new information to me. Some of it's stuff that I've worked with for about 30 years. So this shift in the organs that's required, why is it required now versus, say, 20, 30 years ago? Because the shift is happening faster. We're bringing in the light more. There's more of us working on the planet with light. And if we want to anchor that change in our bodies, we need to also upgrade the organs themselves, because the organs do a lot of processing of all elements, water, light, all of the elements that we work with. I'm just going to drink some water now. So when they say bringing light into the body, when people are talking about that, your organs have to process that light. And the organs are huge machines in our bodies, or motors that work to then give energy to the chakras. So without integrating that light in the organs themselves, you're going to have some troubles with the chakras or limits to the chakras themselves. And sometimes you can just work on the chakra to energize the organs. And that's what I do a lot. We're going to be looking at the first video I'll do is working on the heart chakra and the heart organ. They're two different things. So consider that some of your chakras are not actually situated in the organ. There's always a reason. But we're going to experience that through play. Because when you play with it, what happens is you're just naturally going to start healing. Play is the fastest way to do it. And I'm going to give you some protocols as well to actually direct the energy out through the body. Because if we're not able to shift it out through the body, what happens is we may not actually get the energy recycled out of the body. So a lot of that comes from chi, from our visualization and accessing our chi, but it's really about your intent. And keep in mind that in the shift, that our bodies are changing, and so too is the earth. The earth is our teacher. So climate change is not necessarily human or man-made change. Yes, we do impact it, and we can see from people staying indoors that already the elements are changing around us. They're constantly communicating to us every day when we wake up. The elements are communicating to us. Even when things are prompting me to drink water, that's the elements communicating to me to drink the water because my body's requiring the water. So the body's really an amazing tool, but we just take it for granted. So nature as well is an amazing teacher, mother, healer, nurturer, provider that we've taken for granted. So the earth itself is going through change. So with the new energy body, what's going to be offered to you is a chance to start aligning with that change, collaborating with it instead of saying, oh my God, there's no toilet paper. Or instead of thinking, what can I do? As soon as you start aligning with nature, you'll be given hints by nature. I'm still getting tips to drink water. To use elements like water, it can be foods, it can be meditation, it can be light, it can be your thoughts, it can be play, it can be part of your body. So we'll go through different systems in the body, and I'll be playing with them and showing you how to play with them. And you can go along with me in the monthly video, or you can just use one little piece, which I'll talk about how you can integrate it at the end of the video with some daily routines like house chores or just stretching in the morning, and start to integrate some of the tools to start moving energy very quickly and simply. It's not a exact science what I share, it's more of an art, but there are some protocols for healing that I will share as well. And finally, I would like to share, if you are trying to work out what to do with yourself at the moment, what are you ready to open to? What's your body willing to shift? What are the things you need to boost your immune system, or to nurture yourself, or to not go into panic? There are so many resources in your body always telling you what you need. And there's going to be a lot of information in the world right now for the virus, and to avoid getting it, or when you get it, what to do. So I invite you to start using my channel and some of this energy around us to start questioning, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? Keep coming back to you, because I'm just sharing a lot of what has helped me over many years to get out of what other people's think is right for me, and get into what Angela needs and what she truly desires. Because what you think you need based on panic is not really going to sustain you. It's not sustainable. What we're learning now is what sustains us. We're appreciating some of those products that we weren't able to get. Now we're understanding supply chains. Why can't we get things at the shops? For myself, I'm thinking about how to grow vegetables so I don't have to go out. And that's the sort of thing that's being prompted by your soul every day, but also by your body, because your body's like, I want food. What type of food do you want? How much are you willing to pay for it? What are you prepared to do to get it? These are all really good things to contemplate with your body right now. What is that opportunity prompting you to start thinking about what you really want for your body with the new energy that we're entering into? So yes, the new energy body channel is challenge is to get you to consider what your body needs, but what your spirit truly desires. Because a lot of people will tell you what you need, and you may go into emotions thinking, oh, I don't have this, I need to get that, You've got something here in your body right now just showing you what you need. You may not know all of the products or all the information, but I can guarantee you when you slow down and take the time to listen, you make better choices, and you'll also call the right people. When you do a Google search, your Google searches will end up being more spot on. I've experimented with the computer as well with this work that I share. When I'm in a panic, nothing on the computer works. When I slow my breathing and say, okay, help me now, I want to get something that I want, and make it clear and simple, I go online and the Google search or whatever search things fall into place simply. So our consciousness now is being challenged, but I can guarantee you that your body has information at your fingertips, at your ability to channel this energy down your core, which we're going to hear a lot about, your inner core and that core connection to yourself. It's all there. It's all there waiting for you to connect so you can make better choices, better decisions, and have a lot of fun and be who you are, and also get the help. Because we're not in isolation, we still need help. How are we going to get that? How are we going to communicate? Telepathy is possible if you send out signals for help. Have you noticed that people then text you? That's a form of telepathy. If you're desperate, they might not answer your text. If you send out a telepathic signal like, oh, I wonder how so-and-so is, thinking about them, they're probably much more likely to respond, or they'll respond with a lot more sweetness. And I've been getting a lot of telepathic signals from people. I get jumbled, but I've had a lot of great support when I was sick. I'm coming out of my sickness into recovery now. My brain is different, so I'm still discovering how it works and what my body needs to integrate my brain into a new body, which had all of that energy cut out, and had myself opened as well to all sorts of things. Gosh, I don't even remember what happened to me. So a lot of things have been opened in my body that I'm still digesting and learning too. So if you have any topics that you would like me to address about the body, the energy body, the new energy body, the shift, pop them in the comments section. I do moderate the comments, so I do have to find them on the YouTube because I'm still understanding this platform. And welcome to this new energy. And I pray and I hope and I expect that you will discover within you what is going to come into this new life that we're going to be moving into, whether we're going into isolation or coming out of it, or whether you're just discovering who you are and where you want to be.